Hello, everybody, and welcome once again to The Brink, the most BRINKALICIOUSly awesome podcast anywhere in the world. And the only thing that you should be doing right now is listening to my voice, because that's clearly what you're doing. Episode 40 of the rebooted, rejigged podcast. Did you ever think we were going to get it this far? I did, because I have no life. But other than that, I don't know if you did, because if you've been listening to us from the beginning, then we appreciate your support. Another big episode today, as we have all the time. We've got new segments, new Forget the Lyrics again. Who doesn't want to get excited about that? And lots of other things coming your way throughout this episode. But we will also say, as we often do, start off the episode with a big thank you to everybody who listened during the week, and just looking at our listenership countries throughout the last 7 or so days. Obviously, once again, our Australian audience doing quite well, our Canadian audience doing quite well, and our Indian audience. We have listeners in India this week, so hello to everybody listening to us in India. Again, not sure if it's a case of that you're maybe travelling and you want to take the Brink with you. You got lost when you were trying to find that Jack Black TV show that they did a few years ago, so you accidentally downloaded this. Or you just genuinely found us and you think we're pretty good. So we'll see if our Indian listenership level keeps up in the coming weeks. If not, well, we hope you enjoyed the one episode that you listened to, and sorry that you didn't want to stick around. Another week of talking to 15-year-olds, because it's time for Dakoda. Ding, 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 ding. It's Dakoda. Hello, Dakoda. I thought I would add, because it's what does the fox say, and then it's
cool. Whatever. Hey.
What does Dakoda say? Yeah. How's it hanging? What's cracking a lagging?
Back by your couch again.
You are. You just keep coming over.
Yeah.
You just can't leave.
I cannot.
You are the Captain Cook.
Yeah.
Except you actually stepped foot. We did that last week.
See what I did there? Oh, glad you remembered.
I remember. Now, last week, we left on a bit of a cliffhanger, I felt. Yeah. Because you talked about, I asked you, are you a Beck man or a Will man? You're like, I'm a Cassie man.
Well, really, I'm a Nick McKim man. But
yeah. You're a bit of the Mickey.
Yeah, I love Mick. He's great.
The Mickey Kim.
Nick. I love Nick.
Yeah.
Oh, he's awesome.
Is he?
He should be Prime Minister.
Have you hung out with him?
Yeah.
Said g'day?
Nah, yeah.
Said what's up, Nick?
Yeah, he's great. He's very humble, very honest.
I like Peter Wish Wilson, because he's got an awesome last name. Because I wish upon Wilsons, you know.
Whatever.
What's the leader's name? Di Natale?
No one knows who the Greens leader is.
Well, it used to be Bob Brown.
It's just some random chick.
And then it was that awful woman who I interviewed her once.
Oh, yeah, her. I think it's still her.
She annoyed the fuck out of me. No, she left.
Oh, really?
What was her name? Why have we gone blank on her? She was a bitch.
Yeah. I do remember her, yeah.
You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah. Anyway,
so I in all seriousness, before I rip shit into you for your terrible political choices, what is it about the Greens?
They're all for like equality, and all for like, obviously they want to help the trees and stuff. They're greenies. Mm-hmm. And if you just read some of their policies, they've just got it like kind of the right idea in terms of moving forward in like socially and economically and all that kind of thing.
Do you just really randomly, do you remember 2010 election when Julia Gillard used the term moving forward? That's always ever poisoned to me. I mean, I love Julia Gillard, but just, okay, like, legitimate question though for you, and I'm not trying to be a dick here. Please realise this is coming from a good place. You do generally realise though, by voting Green, you're not really going to have your vote count too much, because the Greens won't form a majority, so therefore Cassie O'Connor won't be Premier.
But I don't really care.
So it's more of a statement vote.
It doesn't bother me.
Okay.
It doesn't bother me that like I wouldn't be having like a real say in like, but a lot of like young people my age who I talk to.
15.
Yep.
Hey, you agreed with it this week. There we go.
Just because I wanted to keep talking.
Fair enough.
Actually, like I've talked to a few people and they do want to vote Green. Like.
Look, I'm being a dick. I mean, look, you can vote for whatever the fuck you want.
Exactly.
You can vote for the fucking Mad Hatter's bastard party of Tasmania.
Arguably, Clive Palmer's the real MVP here.
Look, I like Clive Palmer. Clive Palmer's been on this show. Again, I'm just like to brag who's been on this show. I mean, I interviewed Clive and he's a good guy.
Yeah.
He followed me on Twitter as soon as I interviewed him. He still follows me on Twitter, actually, funnily enough. So I could DM him right now, like, sup, Clive, what's going on? Look, I find it interesting when it comes to elections, and like, you can vote for whoever you want. And like, I don't doubt one day Greens could be in power. I mean, it could happen. People could be so pissed off with our current climate and all that sort of stuff. I mean, I will say I did agree strongly with the Greens policy that they had at one of the elections, where they were going to basically fight for dental and dentistry to be classified under the Medicare system, because they're like, the teeth are part of your body, so therefore that should be under the same classification.
They're going to make they want to make education cheaper as well for everyone.
My biggest thing, and like, look, I have a respect for politicians that I feel some people don't, and I'm sure you do. I shouldn't classify myself. You've dealt with a lot of politicians in, your role as young citizen of the century, or whatever the fuck you are. Glenorchy still doesn't have a council, by the way. It's still your fault.
Yeah. As soon as like next year rolls over and there's a new young citizen of the year, the council's going to be back. I guarantee.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I mean, look, I have an utmost respect for most of them, just because it's a lot harder than it seems. Like, and this is the thing that I think a lot of people don't understand. And we go into an election and you're like, oh, they're going to make dentistry part of the body. They're going to make education cheaper. They're going to save the trees. They're going to make cakes not as flat. But then it's like, it kind of comes into it. It's like they can't do it like straight away, and then people complain about it. You know what I mean?
No politician can do what they say they're going to do straight away.
Well, that's case in point, Donald Trump.
Yeah, but that's a president, not prime minister.
Is it? Shit. Yeah, I mean, it's a complicated system, and this is what I think people just don't understand. It's like, look at fucking, Tony Abbott. I don't know what he did, but like, look at.
So really, what they promising? Like when they promise that they'll do something, it means they'll promise to at least try and get a bill passed for it.
Yeah. And then there's a debate, and that's kind of the Democrat. The funniest thing with that, though, is this whole plebiscite debate. I know we keep coming on to the plebiscite, but how basically Turnbull and all that are kind of like, we promised we would do this, so we're keeping our election promise. Election promises are very important. It's like, dude, you broke like 30 of the other ones, but this is the one you want to keep when no one fucking wants it. You're going to spend $122 million on this?
I think there should be a plebiscite every fucking time there's a bill going to be passed.
It depends on what it is. I read a very good point. We were talking about the Australia debate last week, but I actually read a very good thing online saying that why don't, to kill two birds with one stone, you just put two questions on the plebiscite. Be like, should same-sex marriage in Australia be legal? Yeah. Yes or no? And should Australia Day be on a different day?
I'm actually keen to see what the questions are in this one.
It's going to be completely long-winded and worded very in a way that if yes is a majority, they can argue against. And I think I was talking to this, wasn't I, about the whole Republic debate in 99, where basically what defeated it was the way the question was worded. Yeah. And that was a referendum, so that was bound by law, whereas this is only a plebiscite. So, again, the government can be like, fuck off, and screw it up and put it in the bin.
Even then, though, after it's passed, it still has to go to the Senate.
Have you seen the advertising for it yet? I mean, I don't really watch free to air, but I'm looking forward to these ads. I'm looking forward to, I think Ian Thorpe is the face of the Yes campaign. Little Thorpey. Really
interesting that happened at uni yesterday.
Oh, okay.
So the LGBTI Society set up a stall.
Yep.
Encouraging people to enroll to vote. Guess who set up next to them?
Ian Thorpe.
The Christian Society. It was great.
Was there like a debate?
I found much amusement. No, there was no debate, but I just found it really amusing.
And what did you talk to any of them, or?
No, some guy was like, "Oh, have you enrolled to vote yet?" I'm like, "Yes," and then kept walking.
I actually I remember at uni they used to have the socialists would I don't know if there's still a thing around uni. I mean, I'm old, but they used to have the socialists set up. And Anthony, who used to be a co-host on the show, because we were both doing intro to government, and we were both in different classes, but we had to do, in one of our tutorials, I think we had to get up and we had a political party and we had to explain their ideals and, just whatever. And so he chose the Socialist Party so he could basically walk outside his tute and go, "G'day, Jim, would you like to come and join me in the tutorial and help explain?" So he got bonus points for basically bringing someone in. And it's a Society's Day. I know that's obviously recently.
Next semester.
So you haven't been to one yet?
No, I went when I wasn't at uni, so I couldn't sign up to.
Well, I was going to say, did they have all the politicians? Did they have the Labour Society table with Beck White and the Liberal one? With,
there was too many people to even
Because I remember how
so many people go to society.
How we got politicians on this show to begin with. Our very first proper guest was Lisa Singh, and I drunkenly went up to her on Society's Day and was like, "I fucking voted for you last year. Do you want to come on my radio show?" And she did. And there was a Liberal person, I can't remember who it was, and they never came on the show. So, because that was legitimately true. Lisa Singh was the very first person that I gave my number one vote to in the 2006 election. Yeah. I do too. I quite like Lisa Singh. Yeah. She's a very nice lady. I don't know what else the fuck we're talking about. We're just going randomly over. Are you looking forward to voting? I love voting.
Voting in the election.
We'll go with the state election because the plebiscite's different because it's in the mail. It's not the real experience. I'm talking about actual go to a polling booth, going in there, filling in all the numbers because I fill in literally every single number Last year in the federal election, they're like, oh, you can just put a 1 or if you want to fill in all 50. I'm like, I'm fucking filling in all 50.
Yeah, all 50.
50. There were senators. You had to fill in like 55, 1 to 55.
Yeah,
so,
I'm actually pretty keen to actually have my vote on.
It's incredible feeling.
Yeah.
You go into that voting booth and you're like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. And you leave and you're like, oh, will my vote count?
Yeah, but obviously I live in like a not very nice neighbourhood.
You live in Chigwell.
So my whole thing is like the Chigwell Community Centre. And so not many of like the Chigwellilians would really give a shit about voting. Like,
they're called chiggers, right?
I don't give a shit.
Yeah. But the thing is, I can see with that is that no one there would vote.
Yeah.
Because they're fucking, I'm not fucking voting. He's fucking going to fucking think fucking about it.
Yeah.
That's a little bit too little.
That's pretty much what yeah.
Well, you can go to other, as long as you're within Denison. You don't have to go to one.
Because I could go to Glenorchy and stuff.
So yeah, you could go to the most northern part of Denison.
Yeah.
I mean, you could go to downtown Hobart and it's fine.
Yeah, right.
You don't have to be like, yeah, fucking, I'm from fucking Chigwell to fucking vote. You'd be like, hello, I'm from downtown Hobart. I'm here to cast my vote in the election. Maybe they'll think you're from Sandy Bay.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that.
That's why I like driving to the uni because people. Yeah.
I usually go to my old primary school. I usually go to Glenorchy Primary just because I want to. Like, there's a one time I'm allowed on school grounds.
Old primary school.
If I generally walk around Glenorchy Primary on other days,
that's not.
Cops are called. But that's like the one time I generally do that, and I wouldn't mind doing it next time. Maybe I'm sure they have voting at Newtown High, my old high school. Although I did visit that a few times when I was in college. I don't know why. I hated high school and I liked primary school. It's weird that, isn't it? I went back to the place I hated.
I loved high school.
Yeah, but you were like you were there like last year, so it's fresh in your mind.
It freaks me out because it was almost 3 years ago.
Oh my fucking god! 3 years, you old fart.
Fuck off.
14 years. 14 years for me. Try that, right? Nearly half my life ago, I was at high school. That's scary saying that.
Yeah, isn't it?
That is really, really scary. Are you at that point where you still talk to, again, the Brink, we just talk about everything. Do you talk to still a lot of people from high school? Or is it kind of at that point where you're starting to drift apart?
I've hardly talked to anyone from high school.
Really?
Most of the friends I have now are just friends come over from college.
Cool.
I've got about one friend that I've kept from primary school. So
I was about to ask, primary school is the real keeper.
Yeah.
Who's your longest friend?
My longest friend.
And in terms of length-wise, I don't know about the penis size. I mean, if you measure your dicks, that's fine.
That'd be Dylan from...
So he's got a big dick. I mean, you know him from primary school? That was inappropriate.
Stop
asking about Dakota's friends' dicks.
I know him as far back as kinder. So.
Kinder?
Yeah.
And what is it about Dylan that has remained...
It's just a really sexy body, isn't it?
Well, I mean, that's why I'm friends with him.
No, I don't know. I think I'm just friends with him because I'm just friends with him. Like
he just hung around.
Yeah,
basically. You sit around with Dylan.
Do you not have friends like that though? They just kind
I don't have friends.
Yeah, but when you did have friends,
those were the days.
Just friends that like have kind of just hung around. And you can't really get rid of. Like,
I don't know about you in terms of your friends, but like sometimes the conversation will come like, "How did you guys meet?" And there are some friends of mine who I'm like, "Yeah, I remember this moment." Like Josh, I don't think you've ever met Josh. Like he founded this show. I remember clear as day. Grade 9, he was a new student at school. We were in health class. We were both sitting on the fence. He'd really been there for like a day. New kid at school, not going to fit in. And I was the loser in the health class because all the kids would bash me and I'd just be sitting on my own. And I kind of just was sitting next to me, like you and I sitting here in the couch, and he had shorts on, and I see this big scratch on his leg, and I'm just kind of like, "What'd you do to your leg?" And he's like, "Oh, I fell off a bike." And from there we just started talking. We became friends. Simple. But there are friends when I had them that I couldn't remember. Like my group of 4 that I was in high school. One of them was from primary school, so he kind of went over. But the other 2 guys that were in my group, I know I met them through one of a friend who I met in one of my other classes in grade 7, who I then wasn't friends with a year later because he decided that he was cool and decided to leave us losers away. But yeah, I just couldn't remember the exact moment. Do you remember the exact moment you were friends with Dylan or any of your other friends?
At all.
No?
I think because in primary school you kind of just talk and then all of a sudden friends appear.
It's just like, pop, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you got to remember with me, though. You remember meeting me. I don't remember the exact moment I met you, but it was at
obviously at the
youth forum. Was it 2013?
Yeah.
The Hobart, the deck.
Yeah. Yes.
And then I remember coming to a Glenorchy youth forum thing not long after. And I think you got talking to me because you liked Formula 1.
Yes.
And then you wanted to come on the radio, and then you just wouldn't fucking leave me alone.
And I was like, I want to come on the radio show.
Yeah. And then you just haven't left.
Exactly.
And now you're in my house.
Yeah.
So
No, it was like what happened? Because I did a thing on Edge. I did a shadow day at Edge because I was a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
And then I mentioned that I've met you before, and then the Mark Cutler when he had it,
when Edge used to be run decently.
Like I was like, I was thinking of going on Ben's show and then doing like a thing as like an internship type thing.
I actually remember that because I remember Mark like ringing me or talking to me. He's like, "Oh, Dakoda, he likes you. He wouldn't stop talking about you."
And then Mark was like, "Fucking do it," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, okay."
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't. I'd stop talking about fucking. What are you saying?
You're in love with me, Dakoda. It's fine.
Yes, right.
You know, it's a funny story. People listening to this, so they're basically like, so Ben, you were MC at a youth conference, mainly of middle teenagers, like 13 to 17-year-olds, and you befriended one.
Yeah,
I did. Like, let's be honest. I just go to these youth conferences, like, oh, we're all the 15-year-olds. At least I'm not
a female.
Well,
that's a bit more creepy.
Well, not really. You'd be 18 by now. I could have a crack. I mean, you know, legal age and all. It's not even statutory if you're over 18.
Yeah, right.
Wow, Ben, you know your rape laws.
I'll leave that there.
I think we need to leave
this. You know your rape laws very well.
It's always a down point of the conversation when somebody knows their rape laws. You're very in touch with the rape laws, Ben. All right, we'll end this segment. We'll have you back next week. Thanks, Dakoda. You're welcome.
See ya.
We, of course, last week said that live performance pretty much was the last one that we had from the archives. Well, we have one more to bring you today here on The Brink, and this will be the last time you hear it unless we end up getting people coming and performing for us live on the podcast itself. A few weeks back on High Noon, what actually would turn out to be the final ever episode of High Noon, we had good friend on the show, Jax, and she had a band in there, Jax The Wayward. They had their new single to perform from their new EP, which is out now, by the way, folks. The EP is called Push, and they sang for us live in studio the title track from that EP. So let's hear. This is the last ever live performance you will hear here in The Brink until we start getting other live performances on here. It's Jax The Wayward performing Push live on High Noon only a few weeks back. Sit back, listen, and enjoy.
Deep inside, so deep inside, yeah, deep inside. And with my heart on hand, I'll go for one more time. Yeah, I can set things straight. Again and again and again and again. Push, don't push it. Push, don't push it. Push, don't push me. Don't push it. Push. Don't push me. Push. Don't push it. West crack charms are truth and pain, where folded words can drive insane. Stabs of pain will drive me insane. For cash in hand, there's lies inside, will fill my mind. Just one more trick, one more try. Please give me one more try. And I'm chasing hope while running blind. Yeah, I can set things straight. Again and again and again and again. Don't push it. Push. Don't push me. Push. Don't push it. Yeah. Don't push it. Don't push me. Push. And don't push it. things straight. Again and again and again and again. Again and again and again and again. Don't push it. Don't push me. And don't push it. Ooh. Don't push it. Don't push me. And don't push it.
We did this last week in terms of that we actually brought some originals to the table. Seems that we can't do this on a radio show anymore. We thought we'd actually do this properly on a podcast. I do, of course, speak of...
It's that time of the week to play everybody's favorite game show. It's Forget the Lyrics! Here on the Brink on Edge Radio. Over to the studio.
Oh, it's Forget the Lyrics, and we still have 15-year-olds hovering around. What's up, Dakoda?
I'm 18.
Yep, you really aren't. So we're
Fucking
doing
am.
what we did last week in terms of both having solo, both having a duet. We're starting off with you as a solo again because you should go first because you're 15. Now, you are the only person on planet Earth that actually can utter the phrase, I like Smash Mouth. So
Yeah,
you...
I guess I am, yeah.
We back on High Noon, I think we did basically all three Smash Mouth songs that were in existence.
And I've discovered another.
Apparently there are more than
Yeah.
three. There's apparently more than All Star, Walking on the Sun, and I'm a Believer.
Yep.
We have When the Morning... Is it Then the Morning Comes?
Then the Morning Comes.
Then the Morning Comes. Smash Mouth. All right, so I've got to come up with a subject matter. Your subject matter is being a fan of Smash Mouth.
You're not really a proper fan of Smash Mouth. I just like this.
Well, you've got to try and talk about being a fan of Smash Mouth.
All right.
Okay?
Jesus.
Good.
Okay.
Here is Dakoda Leary singing to Smash
This is
Mouth
not going to be very good.
about being a fan. Well, it's Smash Mouth. Never is a sentence uttered other than this is not going to be very good.
Oh, yeah.
They were famous for like 2 seconds in 1998 when you were born.
That's far out.
Still more popular than
Yeah.
Smash Mouth. All right, let's do this. Dakoda Leary singing about Smash Mouth to the song When the Morning Comes, Then the Morning Comes by Smash Mouth.
Yeah, singing to Smash Mouth by Then the Morning Comes by Smash Mouth, yeah. Yeah. I know that's what you said. I always said a bit of a... I'll try. Listening to Smash Mouth all the time because I'm a fan. But I'm not really a big fan of them. I just happen to like this song. It's a song that not many other people have heard. But I discovered it one day just hanging out on Spotify. Now I listen to Apple Music. I'm a Smash Mouth fan. But I'm not really a proper Smash Mouth fan. I don't think you could find any one of those in the world today. Ben's filming me again and I don't like it. Please don't put this on Pornhub. So my topic today is just to sing about my big fandom of Smash Mouth. But that's a lie. I'm not a true fan. And I don't think there are any true fans of Smash Mouth in existence. There's no true fans. Just some people who've seen the movie Shrek and have just been, like Smash Mouth pretty cool. And then they just forget about them. Oh, apparently that's not the end. But, no, I've lost myself now. Yeah, I know, right? Sorry.
Yeah, look, that's a very boring song. Can I just point that out?
It's good when the actual lyrics exist.
Well, I mean, you were doing well. Then you said that Ben was filming you.
Maybe you are. No,
my name's Ben.
I said Ben.
We can play back the tape. You said
Do
Spen.
it!
No, I can't be bothered editing it into it. Yeah, look, I'm giving you a 6.
What?
I think that you
I thought that was at least a 7.
the
or an
effort
8.
was there, but I just think the song let you down, and then you sounded bored halfway through it. You know, like, I mean, is that just a song because it's a boring song? Or? Fuck you. Wow, that's hurtful. Would you say that to a referee in the middle of a soccer match?
Yes.
And you'd get a yellow card, you little shit. Anyway, we'll be back.
All right.
My solo time's next. Yay! We found somebody who used to host this show a long time ago. It's Samuel McCrossan. Hello, Sam.
Hello, Ben. Thanks for having me.
It's been a while.
Has been a while.
Anything exciting happening in your life at all, or
No, nothing.
Nothing at all?
whatsoever.
no? You have brought a special guest with you this week, though.
I have.
Now, first of all, we should introduce the one, the only Hilary McCrossan. Hello, Hilary.
Hello.
How are you?
Good.
Now, I don't know, Sam. Have you ever interviewed your daughter before on radio?
No. Well, she's 6 now, and
6. You can nearly vote. You can nearly. You're an adult, aren't you? No. Oh, okay. I thought you were.
she's actually a third of the way to being an adult.
You are. Are you looking forward to being an adult?
Yes.
And what's your first thing you're going to do when you're an adult?
I'm going to be a nurse.
A nurse? Wow. That's as soon as you turn an adult, you'll be a nurse. Is there any dying questions you've ever wanted to ask your daughter that perhaps can be broadcast on radio before?
Well, I actually asked her a question this morning, Ben, and that was, Hilary, when you grow up and be a nurse, will you be a male nurse or a female nurse?
A female nurse.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
I'd be a female nurse too.
Do you think your daddy would be a good female nurse?
No.
No. Oh, that hurts your feelings, doesn't it? No?
Yes, no, it does.
Why do you want to be a nurse?
Because I really want to help people.
Oh, that's noble.
That is noble.
And did you learn that from your daddy? Is that because he helps people?
No, I just want to help people.
So your daddy doesn't help people?
No.
Oh, I like to think I do.
Does he help you?
Yes.
A lot or just a little?
A lot.
Okay, well that's good. That's see, you feel better.
There we go. Yeah, so I do help people.
You do help people. Tell us, can you tell us any stories about your daddy that maybe nobody's ever heard before? Like, is your daddy a silly daddy? Does he do anything silly sometimes that you wonder what does he do?
He just plays with me.
He plays you. What does he let you win when he plays with you or things like that? Or do you just beat him because you're that good?
Yes.
Yes. What do you beat him in? What sort of games does he play with you?
Sometimes we play racing drivers.
Yeah. And do you beat him all the time in racing drivers?
No, not all the time.
Now I know what your daddy does when he plays racing games. He likes to take people out deliberately. He crashes his car into people because he's a bit of a cheater. Does he ever crash his car into you?
No.
Oh, so he only does that with me, does he?
Yes.
Okay. Is that right, Sam?
Oh, that might be right.
Now, would you be happy if Hilary was a nurse?
Oh, yes. Oh, certainly. Oh,
Yes. Is there anything else that you want to do besides being a nurse, or are you 100% you want to be a nurse?
Yes.
Just nurse all the way.
Yes.
Okay. And if your daddy right now cut himself, would you be good enough to help him and put a Band-Aid on and nurse him back to full health?
Yes.
And what about Mummy? You do that with Mummy as well?
Yes.
What about your sister? What about Hazel? Oh. So everybody. What about me?
Yes.
I see you just want to help everyone. Is there anybody you wouldn't help?
I would help everybody.
Everybody. Does she know about Donald Trump? Would she help Donald Trump or?
Oh, ask her.
Do you know who Donald Trump is?
No.
That's a good thing. It's probably very good. Anything else you want to ask your daughter on here? I don't know.
Have you considered alternative career options? What about picking up the garbage?
I haven't picked up the garbage.
Would you do it for a living?
Yes, when I'm an adult.
Oh, so that's your fallback option, is it?
Yes.
Ah, good. That's good.
So why haven't you picked up the rubbish here though? You're too busy helping people being a nurse.
Yes.
I think she's just messy, actually.
Are you messy?
Are you good at
Yes.
cleaning up?
No.
No. There we go.
Sometimes you got to leave a bit of a mess, right? It makes things look a little bit more homely. Make it look nice and fun.
Yeah.
Now you've been playing. Tell everybody, what game have you been playing today?
Commander Keen.
And who is Commander Keen? Do you know much about him?
Yes, my dad told me that it's a boy.
A boy. Okay, that's a good start. You never know in 2017. And what does Commander Keen do? What when you're playing the game, what do you have to do with him?
So we just have to press the space button and if you want to shoot slugs.
Shoot slugs? Really?
Slugs on the game.
So you've got to... And do you shoot slugs at, like, plants? Or what do you shoot with the slugs?
Well, you have to shoot them when they're near you, and you can't shoot them when they're going down the ramp.
Is that right, Sam? Is that how it works?
That's how it works.
That's how it works. And this is a game that your daddy played when he was very little. So do you like playing the same game that your daddy played?
Yeah, well, I haven't really played it for a long time yet because I only just got into it.
And you were telling me before that you are so good at it, though, you could make $5 off it.
Yeah.
And you could make $100 off beating your daddy in a racing game, though. So you're better at racing games, are you?
Yes.
Well, that's good. So you like playing video games more than you do cleaning up?
Yes.
I think we all do. Don't you, Sam?
Oh, yes. I missed the question there, but...
It's all right, you know. But actually, I know people who would prefer cleaning up than playing video games. I was engaged to one, so...
Right, yeah.
That's probably how it works. Did you want to ask your daddy any questions?
Yes.
What would you like to ask him?
Well, I don't know.
You don't know?
No. I've got a question. How much does our house weigh?
I don't know.
Is it heavy?
Yes.
Did you lift it up?
No, I don't think so.
You haven't. Have you tried, though?
No, because it's going to be heavy.
You never know unless you try, right?
I don't think I could try.
Well, what's for dinner tonight, Daddy? Do you know what's for dinner tonight, or is that Mummy's job?
That's Mum's job.
Does Daddy ever cook?
Sometimes when Mum is done, because Mum doesn't cook, but sometimes we have leftovers.
And what's the best thing that your daddy has ever cooked you?
Vegetables.
You like your vegetables. What's your favourite vegetable?
Mushroom.
Mushroom. Wow, the great all-rounder.
The great all-rounder.
Yeah, and you're eating some strawberries before, so you're into the healthy food. You need to teach me how to eat them. Look at me, I don't eat the healthy foods.
Well, you do have to eat healthy food.
Otherwise, I'm just... What will happen to me if I don't?
You might get fat.
Might. Oh, I'm thank you for not thinking that I already am, Hilary. I appreciate that. Anything else you want to add, Sam? I like you.
That was really funny.
You can stay on the show longer. I appreciate it. Give me a high five. Thank you.
It's a funny little girl.
You've got a future in radio. Instead of being a nurse, would you like to be a radio host?
No.
Okay, well, that's fine. Nurses help more people.
I am very funny.
Can you tell me a joke?
What did the tree say when someone started pulling all his leaves off?
I have no idea.
Leave me alone.
Leave me alone.
Leave me alone. That's funny. I like it.
Joke that my dad taught me.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me
So
one
I
bit.
made
Do you know any more?
What's brown and sticky? A stick.
A stick! I like that. That's funny. You're clever. I think you might take over my job next week. How about that?
Yeah.
Yeah? I'll play Commander Keen. You just host the radio. Do you want to hold the microphone? Okay. Here you go. You talk into it.
Talk right into it.
How are you going?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good.
Yeah. That's you're learning. That's better than I can do.
Do you have any other questions to ask?
Well, no.
No?
I do talk a lot.
You do talk a lot? Yes. Yes, you do.
What do you like to talk about?
I like to talk to my sister.
Oh, yeah? And what do you guys talk about? What do you chat about?
Does she talk back?
No.
Why doesn't she talk back?
Well, she does say bub and mum a lot and dad.
Pretty much all
Dad. And
But that's it, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bit hard to have a conversation with someone who knows only 3 words, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's debatable whether one of those words is actually a word.
I like to say clap, but she wouldn't clap, so then I just clap, but she wouldn't clap.
Oh, really?
Why won't she clap?
Well, she is very good at clapping, but yes.
You got to teach her more. You've got to keep training her.
No,
you
she's
really
very
could take
good.
over my job here, Hilary.
Yeah.
I'm kind of worried that I'm not going to have a job anymore. I think you might get paid more than I do.
Yes.
I don't get paid anything, but... do you want to interview Daddy?
I'll pay you $500.
$500? Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
$500 she can pay me.
I don't think she does.
Did you know about that, Daddy?
She'd struggle to scrape 500 cents together, I reckon. So But anyway, thanks for joining us, Hilary.
Thank you. Can I borrow that for 1 second?
Yep.
Thank you very much, Hilary. It's a job well done. I think you can host radio better than I could ever be a nurse. So I really hope that when you're an adult, if I ever get sick, you can save me, because I'll probably be fat by then. So thank you for that. And would you like to come on the show again another time in the future?
Yes.
Then we'll make sure of it. Thank you, Hilary.
Good. Thank you, Hilary. Bye-bye.
And thank you, Sam.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Will we have the Sarge in at any point, or you don't know?
We will, I think.
Have you met the Sarge before?
No.
Well, you better go hide. He's a very scary man. Okay, this is very undesirable.
I don't think he'll come to our house.
You don't? Not at all?
I think he
I
might.
don't think he knows.
I think we might have put a censor sound over that, so people don't necessarily know where Sam actually does live. Just a word of advice: don't give out your address on air. You will have undesirables.
Well, I think he lives in a very noisy place, and I don't think he likes quiet.
And what's this noisy place that he lives in?
No, it could be.
We're going to have to block over that as well, because I think there is actually someone who lives at 35 Mariah Crescent.
And it does go noisy up there.
Okay, all right. Well, maybe we'll find out if he'll come over, Sam.
We'll see. We'll see.
We'll see. Thank you, Hilary. Thank you, Sam. And thank you for everybody telling where everyone lives on this episode. Alrighty, that time of the show once again where I've got to press a button and hear this.
It's that time of the week to play everybody's favorite game show. It's Forget the Lyrics here on the Brink on Edge Radio. Over to the studio.
You're forgetting the lyrics. It's my turn to sing solo. How are you, Dakoda? You still there?
Good, yeah, I'm good. Hey.
Excited for this?
Sure.
You should be, because I've chosen the epically awesome song that is Welcome to the Black Parade by My Chemical Romance, one of the greatest songs ever invented. It's 10 years old, this song now. Can you believe it?
I've heard it.
What? Get out of my house!
Okay.
This song, no, please don't, because I need friends. Now, you would have come up with a subject matter, and if you dare utter any of the subject matters that we were talking about before I hit record, you will get out of my house.
Okay. I'm not going to talk about those but I'm going to just sort of give you the subject of what led to those things.
Yeah. Mm.
You are going to talk about British colonisation of the world. Yeah.
Vast-ranging topic.
Specific, isn't it?
Very specific.
Yeah, so have that.
So not any part of the world in particular.
No, just British colonisation.
Okay, just a special note to anybody listening out there who's like a huge fan of colonisation and shit. I don't really know too much about a lot of stuff, so some of this might be exaggerated.
I would critical of you.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Welcome to the Black Parade, entitled, that's the song, it's by My Chemical Romance, me singing about British colonisation of the world. Let's get real. Let's get jiggy with it. Actually, that'd be a good forget the lyrics. Getting jiggy with it. Never mind. Thanks for the piano there, Dakoda. I appreciate it.
That's alright.
When I was in England, there wasn't that much to do, so I decided to get on a boat. I thought, well, there must be some stuff out there that isn't in England and in the rest of the world. I thought maybe there could be some places that have some native people that might throw spears at me. And if they don't throw spears at me, perhaps we could play a game of cricket. Even though I don't know if it was invented back when England colonised the world. Well, I don't know the history of cricket. Do you know the history of cricket?
Yeah, it wasn't around.
Okay. Yeah. When I was in England, I decided to first of all invent cricket so that I could go around the world and show it to people. The English people said, what's this game? It's kind of cool. You should take it to places outside of England, and then we could play them in other tournaments and shit, yeah. Woo! Really picks up that you're drumming to be really well here, Dakoda. Your drumming working, and your guitars. Good work! Solo man.
I am a solo man.
You are, yeah. Best way to be. When I went to that place
in the southern hemisphere. I thought this place looks really, really cool. So I put a guy on the shore. His name was that name that Dakoda told me earlier. It wasn't James Cook like other people said. It wasn't James Cook. It wasn't Captain Cook. It was some other English dude. He discovered Australia. Then they killed some Aboriginals, and the Aboriginals killed some English people. I then went to other places. There was a place called New Zealand, although it wasn't probably called New Zealand until I called it that. Then I went to other places such as Canada. I think English people discovered that, but there were French in there somewhere as well. I don't really know the history of it. To discover the world, perhaps I should have done better in history, and then I would have done better at Forget the Lyrics about the English people colonising the world, because I can't think of any other countries that they might have discovered. Perhaps they discovered South Africa, maybe. I reckon India probably they did there, I reckon. Yeah, they were in India and shit. Maybe they also discovered America, because actually Christopher Columbus, he didn't do it, but he was Spanish. Don't know what I'm singing about. I'll forget the lyrics, because I don't know much about English colonization of the world. All I know is that they're not in control anymore, because they suck. It's up to America to say fuck you world, because we're the best. And England discovered shit, but people took over their chest, because I don't know what else to sing, and I really don't know where else they discovered. Dakoda, you shouldn't give me these subjects that I'm dumb about, because the English didn't carry on. They didn't carry on with the discovery. They got taken over by other places, and now Scotland want to leave England. Actually, it's the United Kingdom, not England. But England is part of the United Kingdom, and no. You know, it's actually really hard. When we used to do this, hang on. Oh boy. When we used to do this on the radio, I would have like the music in my headphones as well as my voice. Now I don't have the music in my headphones, so I'm singing ahead. It's actually a lot harder to do this, isn't it?
Oh, I don't know.
Well, this is where I probably shouldn't wear the headphones, not worry about my own voice and worry about the song itself. Note to self for our duet. How did I do that, Dakoda?
I mean, the historical facts were a bit wrong.
A bit, yeah.
But you kept going right.
You kept going right.
But I'll give you a 9.
A 9, wow.
9.
I wasn't expecting so high.
Neither was I.
I like that. It just came out of your mouth when you thought you were going to say like a 4.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm going to give you a 9.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, that escalated quickly. All right, cool. Well, we'll come back. We'll do a duet, and thank you for my 9. I appreciate it.
We didn't have this segment last week, so we're going to have it for you this week.
This is like a flashback. This is like a dream.
Flashing back, because why not? We've obviously been reliving memories from the year of 2008 recently, and we're going to go back to 2008 once again. We always would have very special surprise guests on the show, and one such person back in 2008 was Guy Ritchie, former husband of Madonna and very prolific filmmaker. And in 2008, him and Madonna were separating before they ultimately got divorced, and we scored a bit of an exclusive, or a Brink exclusive, getting him on the show, and this is how he spoke to us.
I'm out of time and all I got is 4 minutes. 4 minutes, yeah. I'm out of time and all I got is 4 minutes. 4 minutes, yeah. I'm out of time and all I got is 4 minutes.
Guy Ritchie, what's going on,
That
brothers?
didn't really work as much as I was hoping it would. Do you like listening to your ex-wife's music there?
I'll tell you what, mate. One thing that I've found being in Australia since the divorce, or the
Separation.
the events leading up to us not being together anymore, is that Can you turn that music off, bro?
Why? What's wrong with it?
I might have to get cryy on you, and I don't want to cry on your show.
Now, look, this is the first interview you've done publicly since the separation. Now,
yes, that's right.
We're in the midst of our own fighting, so we thought we'd bring you in here because you're in the perfect position to help us out. One question I have to ask, what went wrong with you and Madge? Can I call her Madge? Or Mrs. Ciccone? How do you pronounce the last name?
I'm going to have to say here, if you don't just shut up about her. Her name's Madonna. I don't care anything else. All right.
Fair enough.
Now the question was again, mate. It was how do I feel?
How are you coping, for starters? Sorry, it goes well.
That's all right. I won't listen to it. How am I coping? I'll tell you what. The Australian sun that you guys have got here, and I'll tell you what, I only see about 10% of it a day down here in Hobart. But what I think is that I think I'm coping all right.
Fair enough. Now, we're going through. What can Josh and I do? I'll just change the music there for you. I'll put on a different Madonna song. What do you think Josh and I can do to cope with it?
I think what you guys really need to do is, if you're going to separate, look after your kids.
But we're not going to separate. We're trying to solve it. We don't want to separate.
Go see a counsellor.
We did. We saw Dr. Phil.
If you've done that, you've taken the first step then. Yeah. What else you need to do is...
Oh, sorry, I like this bit. Oh, sorry. Am I being offensive to you? How can you leave Madonna? You're stupid. I'm sorry. I'm getting straight to it.
She left me, mate.
I've read reports in the press.
She left me for one of her younger backup dancers.
Look, you've released a couple of good movies, right? You're a good director. I've seen a few of your films. Pretty good. But people only really know you as Mrs. Madonna. You're going to be nothing now, mate.
I don't care. I'm going solo.
But you can't go
that
solo.
Makes sense. Why are you insulting me, Ben?
Because you left Madonna.
Oh, you can have her.
I don't want her.
I'll give you her number.
I've got her number.
I'll give her a private cell number.
Josh, look, you're still beat grumpy at me, but mate, you have to admit,
Ben,
Guy Ritchie's got rocks in his head.
He does. But what
I like this bit too. Hang on. Pretty good, isn't it? Is it soothing, Guy?
I might have to hit you.
Do you want to go into CD shops now and destroy the Madonna section?
I'm getting there.
Do you really want to?
I am really getting there.
Does this music make you want to punch me?
If you're not careful, Ben, I will do that.
What about a bit of this then? Do you want some of? Oh no, that's not a good song. I don't like that one. What about some Like a Prayer? Because you need a prayer to revive your career.
I'm going to have to kick your butt.
I'm liking this, Josh. Loving's working. We found a solution, insulting Guy Ritchie.
I'm just sitting here enjoying it.
Guy Ritchie, one final question.
What do you want, Ben?
One final question.
What do you want?
You have a fortune of about $6.5 million, which is pretty good.
It's more than you, mate.
She has a fortune of about $650 million, all right? And you apparently don't want any of her money?
No, because I loved her. I loved her like...
Past tense?
I loved her like a fat kid loved chocolate cake.
Well,
but it's gone on a diet.
She seemed to love you like a thin person likes chocolate cake. So, what can I say, Guy?
Yeah, she ate me, then she threw me up.
Well, that's show business for you, my friend. And when you're married to Madonna, that's what happens. Guy Ritchie, it has not been a pleasure. Please don't let the door hit you or the good Lord split you.
Always a cruel person trying to play Madonna songs to him in the background, but let's be honest, any excuse for me to play Madonna songs, that's generally how I roll.
Hello and welcome back to the Brink. Today I've got Ben and Daddy today with me.
Hello, I'm Daddy. I'm Sam.
And I'm Ben, just in case the paternity test didn't show that. We're back because you want to meet the Sarge, don't you?
Yes.
You've never met the Sarge?
No.
Ever?
No.
And Daddy has never, ever, ever told you about him?
No.
How is that possible, Daddy? Why have you not told your daughter about the scariest man around?
Well, I just assumed that everybody knew about the Sarge, Ben.
Oh, do you want to meet him? Right now?
Yes.
You do? Okay, well, I'm gonna play some music. Oh, here he is. Hello, Sarge. How are you?
Hello, Ben. It's me, Sarge.
There, you see the Sarge, Hilary?
It's just my daddy.
No, it's really not. It's the Sarge. You're just a different person, aren't you, sir?
Well, yes. Well, I'm a father myself. Did you know that, Ben?
I don't. I've never had that information disclosed to me before. Tell me, who is the child out
Where's
there?
your father?
Well, we're about to find out. Who's the child out there who I feel very sorry for?
Well, I had a sheep once. Did you know that?
No. In what way did you have the sheep?
Well, it's a long story, Ben. Too long for radio, that's for sure.
So you're the father of a sheep.
Yes.
So your child's a New Zealand citizen.
Yes.
Have you met Hilary?
Hi, Hilary. Well, how old are you?
6.
Right. Not 5, not 7?
No.
6, is it?
6.5.
Oh, 6.5. All right.
No, I just sorry to start just quickly. Something that might intrigue you. We were talking before to your daddy, and he mentioned that you don't like to clean. Is that correct?
No.
So you leave a bit of a mess every now and then.
Yes, but this morning I was playing with my tea set and I actually cleaned it up.
You cleaned it up. Well, Sarge, I was nearly going to say, do you need to arrest her under the Uncleanliness Act? But she maybe not prevented her from getting arrested at this point.
Well, Ben, although there are some statutes of limitations out there, we can't let everything go. And I understand that she's been quite messy until this time. Is that right?
No.
Oh, I've heard differently from your mother and father. I've heard that you've been a bit messy.
Well, I did clean up my tea set this morning.
Your tea set?
Yes.
All right. Did you clean up everything else?
No, because I only got the tea set out.
Is that right?
Yes.
Well, look, I'll just give you a caution on this occasion then.
Now, Hilary, in talking to the Sarge here, can you describe to our listeners, what does the Sarge look like?
Well, he looks a bit like my daddy.
Just a bit? But you think they're different people now?
Yes.
Yeah, there you go, Sarge. See, for some reason she thinks you look a bit like Sam. I wouldn't say you look anything like, but that, you know, I'm not a girls have better eyes than men, so.
Well, we're both very handsome-looking men, Ben.
Would you say the Sarge is a very handsome-looking man? No?
No.
No? Oh, wow, okay.
And what about your father? Is he a handsome-looking man?
Yes.
That's a good answer. So your daddy would win the better looking contest between the Sarge and Samuel McCrossan. Yeah? Yeah, okay. Sarge, I really don't know. We've never really kind of had the opportunity to see how you are around children. I mean, as a father of sheep, I mean, do you like kids? Do you go around arresting children? I mean, is that allowed in the Sergeant Porcupine Handbook?
I'll certainly do, Ben. No,
What do you eat?
I'm a protector of children. What do I eat? Food.
What type of food?
Or what type of food should I eat?
That's a big question. If you as a nurse to help people, should he eat any particular types of food?
Worms.
What worms? Sarge!
Well, I can't say I've eaten worms. I ate a chair once.
Ate a chair. Have you eaten a chair before?
Oh, goodness.
Oh, Sarge, tell Hilary the story about the time you punched a sheep.
Well, yes, it wasn't doing what I wanted it to, so yes, I made sure it went in the right direction.
And tell.
You should never punch a sheep because it might be having a baby.
That is a very good point. That is smart. That is smart thinking. Tell Hilary about how you created the giraffe.
Yes, I created the giraffe when I uppercutted a horse.
Do you believe that story?
No.
No.
Well, yes, it's true. It's true. I can assure you of that.
Hey, Hilary.
People do not have powers to create things.
Oh, they don't at all.
Well, I've created many things. I created an artwork once.
Why didn't you paint it yourself?
It wasn't a painting. No, it was a drawing with a pencil.
Do you believe that? Do you think he could have created that?
A pencil isn't very... because it will take long to sharpen.
Take too long to sharpen it?
Again.
Right, okay. Well, I'm not sure where you're going with this.
Hilary, I have a question for you to ask the Sarge. Ask him who his favourite football team is.
What's your favourite football team?
The Collingwood Magpies. Do you like the Magpies?
I go for the Cats.
The Cats. All right, and who's your favourite player?
I can't. Well, I do have a lot of favourite players in the Cats, and I think it's like 4 or 3.
Could you name one of them for the Sarge?
Cockatoo.
Cockatoo!
Cockatoo. All right, Cockatoo.
Yeah, I think you like Cockatoo, don't you?
Oh, he's not bad. He doesn't play for the Pies, though.
Ask the Sarge who his favourite player is.
Who's your favourite player?
Dane Swan, do you know him?
No.
No, well, he doesn't play anymore. So it's my favourite new player is Scott Pendlebury. Do you know him?
No, I have heard Scott, though.
She's heard of Scott.
Really? Yes. He's got a monobrow. Do you know what a monobrow is?
No, but I've heard Uncle Scott.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, a monobrow is just like one eyebrow that goes right across. Have you heard of those before?
Yes.
Do you know of anybody with a monobrow?
No.
It's probably a good thing. You never trust a person with a monobrow. Hey, Hilary, also ask the Sarge what he thinks of Lena Valley.
What do you think of Lena Valley?
Well, no, I don't like Lena Valley. No. Very irresponsible dog owners up there. They let their dogs do droppings all over the footpath. Not very nice.
Have you been to Lena Valley before?
I don't know.
Yes, you have been to Lena Valley, I'm sure.
Well,
Sarge
my
knows a lot
mum
of things.
hasn't told me.
Oh, right. Okay, that's very important. Now, Hilary, before we let the Sarge go, one important thing, which I think the Sarge will back me up on this. Sarge is a police officer, so he's very important out there in the community. Sarge, as a safety message, I guess, to Hilary.
Down near the roundabout, there's a police station.
Well, that's where he hangs out. That's why he got here so quickly. Did you notice how quickly he got here when we said we're going to get him on? He just hangs out there all the time. But, Sarge, what would you say to Hilary and children of her age? Police, very important, right? They should always listen to their police officer friends.
Yes, that's right. Police officers are there to look after you. You know that, don't you?
Yes.
That's good. So you can always trust
They're
a police
good and
officer.
bad.
They're good and bad, are they? Are they bad, Sarge?
Certainly not. Police officers are good, upstanding members of the community.
Why do you think they're bad?
They're good and bad. I think that because they help people and sometimes put them under arrest.
And that's bad, is it? Is it bad to put people under arrest, is it, Sarge?
No, it's a good thing. Must keep people under control. And if someone burgled your house, we could arrest them, take them away. That would be good, right?
I think.
Well, considering he got into your house very quickly, is he breaking into your house, Hilary?
No, I think he opened the door.
Oh, that's
'Cause
good.
I heard the sliding door.
Oh, I didn't hear that. I was too busy. Just I don't know what I was doing. Well, do you want to say anything more to the Sarge before we let him go? Anything else you want to ask him today?
Well, what street do you live in?
I live in the city, actually, in the main street.
The main street.
You-
I haven't heard of the main street.
Yeah, me neither, Sarge. I think you're lying to us.
Well, you guys just don't know what you're talking about. Well, I'm off. I'm bored. I'm going. Bye.
Do you live in a hole?
Oh, he's gone. Did you not see him go? He just ran away. He left. Did you see how quickly he left? Your daddy's back. How did that happen? Say hi to Daddy again.
Hi, Dad.
Hello, little girl.
Did you miss that? What just happened?
He's gone, yeah. I just nipped out for a few minutes and he's gone.
He never gets to meet the Sarge, you know. Do you want to tell your dad about who you're just talking to? Did you anything you want to share with him, or?
Well, I wonder what he eats. I asked him that.
Yeah, she was very brave in asking him all these very good questions.
Very brave. And what did he say he eats?
He didn't say anything. I guess worms.
Oh, I'm sure he'd eat healthy food.
Now, Hilary, thank you. I'm going to say thank you again, and thank you also for telling me the very important lesson in life that don't punch sheep because they could be having a baby. So thank you for letting me know that. I appreciate that.
Yes. And thank you for bringing me in to share today, and you're very welcome for bringing me in today.
I appreciate you thanking me, and you're welcome back anytime. Thank you, Hilary. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Sarge. Welcome back to the show, and it's time to wrap things up for this segment.
It's that time of the week to play everybody's favorite game show. It's Forget the Lyrics! Here on the Brink on Edge Radio. Over to the studio.
Forget the fucking lyrics! You know, it's so good that I can actually say that. I so love being able to say, forget the fucking lyrics. Now, we're doing a duet. That's usually what works. Yes. We're doing some Offspring, as in the band, not that terrible, rubbishly shit TV show that people seem to like. I fucking hate Asher Ketty. Have I ever talked about that? Remember back in the days when we talked about Logan?
I think it's like probably like my hate for Bindi Irwin.
What's wrong with Bindi Irwin?
Excuse me, the
She's redeemed herself to this country.
No,
she used to be a little shit with those croc
No,
men.
she's still a little shit.
Fuck you. You leave Bindi Irwin alone.
No.
Gone Away by the Offspring. You're singing first. That means I come up with the subject matter.
Yes.
So the subject matter is Bindi Irwin versus Asher Ketty. You have to sing about Bindi Irwin. I have to sing about Asher Ketty.
Yeah, right, deal.
How does that work? Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Are you arguing like against them?
Well, you've got to like say why they're shitter than the other.
Oh, yeah, okay. I don't know much about Asher Ketty.
Well, I don't know much about Bindi Irwin.
Yeah, well,
I do actually, because she's a national treasure.
Right.
She's kind of hot now. All right, let's.
So is Bindi Irwin.
That's what I mean, Bindi Irwin, not Asher Ketty.
Oh.
Asher Ketty's not hot.
Hold on, let me just Google it.
He's got to Google Asher Ketty, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, we did this on the show years ago when we did
What's
our
her
Logie
name?
special. Asher Ketty. Asher Ketty.
Yeah, fuck off.
Just type in "stupid woman from Offspring." It should come up with a photo of her. Asher again,
Ketty.
any professional podcast would edit this out.
Oh yeah, that dickhead.
All right, Bindi Irwin versus Asher Ketty. You're saying why Bindi Irwin shit. I'm saying why Asher Ketty shit. Offspring, Gone Away. You're going first. Let's do this shit.
I still don't know much about her, but I don't. Yeah.
You'll learn.
Okay.
Doesn't sound weird at all.
Maybe it's 'cause she's married now, and I had a little crush on her. Maybe it's 'cause she's just so happy, even though the world's so full of despair, and it feels like she's just really annoying. Who am I talking about? Yeah, who am I talking about? Well, none other than Bindi Irwin from that show.
Is she married now?
Yeah. She got married really young because she's like Christian.
She's like Christian, so she gets married.
She's not like Christian, but she is Christian. No, you have to get married to, sex and that shit. How you do?
Asher Ketty's a stupid bitch. I don't like her. Offspring is a stupid show, but the band is pretty decent, I think. But I don't know much of their stuff except for this song and that Pretty Fly for a White Guy one. But if you made me listen to them, I would, because it's better than watching Asher Ketty on TV. She's annoying, and she's not a good actress, and she's also really up herself. That year she won the Logie. Won the Logie. Won the Logie. 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 Yeah. Ooh. Won the Logie.
There's lots of oohs and oohs here. Ogie.
Bindi
Ogie.
Owen.
Yeah. You can take over this
I
next bit.
can probably take it.
I think you should. Because I want to learn more about Bindi Irwin's marriage.
Oh, yeah? Deal.
Who'd you get married to?
Some curly-headed fuck.
Wow.
Yeah, some curly-headed fuck.
You really...
That was amazing.
You really are jealous of this curly-head fuck.
Yeah, no, he is.
What's wrong with curly-head fucks? You're curly hair and you're a fuck.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. I don't give a shit.
You have curly hair and you look.
Yeah, but
It's curly.
it is.
You're talking about yourself.
Yeah, but I'm not a curly-headed fuck. I've just got curly hair.
You're a curly-head 15-year-old fuck. That's you got to.
I think we've done here. I think we're finished.
And Asher Kenny.
No, we're done.
She really
No,
sucks.
no, we're done. We're finished.
I don't
It's over.
like her anymore.
No, it's over.
Asher
It's over.
Kenny.
It's over.
She really sucks.
No, shut up.
Now
We're done.
I don't
Shut
like
up.
her. She really
know.
sucks on Offspring.
Okay.
On Offspring.
Okay.
On
We know.
Offspring. Spring. Shit.
Ironic that we're
Asher
singing
Kenny.
to the Offspring. It's very ironic that we're singing to the Offspring. I like it.
Oh yeah. You get a 8.
Okay.
I think you were very informative. I've never been informed as much as I have been. I forget the lyrics by learning that Bindi Irwin's married.
Thank you, mate. I just know too much about video.
But I don't appreciate the fact that you called him a curly head fuck when you are a
No,
curly
he is.
head
Look at him. Have a look
Our
at this
listeners
guy.
at home can't look at him.
No, but our listeners at home, go on Instagram, on Bindi Owen's Instagram, and look at the fuck. Anyway, I'm going to give you a 8.
Win!
Do
Yay!
you?
That means I win.
Shit, you do.
So I got an 8.
Can I
mate.
change my answer?
No, too late. Yeah,
Ah.
listen to music. Yeah, awesome. Thank you for making me win because you won last
That's
week. So
okay.
next week's the deciding. Next week's the grand
Next
final.
week's grand final, yeah.
In our new Forget the Lyrics before we bring it back again. So Dakoda, thank you.
That's okay.
And we will speak to you next week.
Goodbye.
We didn't have this person on the show last week because we thought, well, who really needs to hear from Canada every week? We might have a week off, but nothing really happens there. But apparently we've got him back this week because we missed him and everyone misses Canada. It is the one, the only Mr. Colin Hilding, direct from Winnipeg in Manitoba, in Canada, in North America, in the world. Colin, welcome back to the Brink.
Thank you for having me, and you've teased what you wanted to talk about today. I didn't think that the fixation that Australia has with our Prime Minister could get any creepier.
Yeah.
Apparently it can.
So, if anybody has long-term listened to this show, and we often will bring up the fact that, Australia has a bit of an obsession with your Prime Minister. That's because apparently we all think he's sexy. And our dear friends over at the very fantastic BuzzFeed.com, the pure source for all entertainment news online, has brought us a story. Now, obviously, your Prime Minister recently must have visited some pandas because obviously a lot's going on in Canada. What diplomatic reasons can we do this week? Oh, let's go visit some pandas here. They're Irish this week as well. So he got photographed. It's a nice photo. Very attractive world leader cuddling 2 cute little pandas. This is clearly why BuzzFeed would pick this up. But somebody has gone on and now decided to create this iconic photo in butter. 2,700 pounds of butter by artists David Salazar, Olenko Kleben, Laird Henderson, and Bailey Henderson to make a statue of the Canadian Prime Minister cuddling pandas. Now, you didn't know about this, Colin. This doesn't make news in your own country?
Well, I found an article here on CBC News. It's not something that I saw all over the place. Again, that's where the fascination in Australia seems to be much bigger than here. I just have to say, I'm looking at this for the first time. That is the creepiest looking sculpture I've ever seen, for one. It looks like Trudeau has aged terribly.
As you often do when you become Prime Minister.
Those pandas look like they've been pulling an all-nighter on vodka and heroin.
They're about to start singing All By Myself, it seems.
Yeah.
This is apparently, it's on display at the Canadian National Exhibition in Toronto, along with a bunch of other sculptures. Now, look, fair enough, if you've got some artists going, oh, we're going to create Canadian icons out of butter. I mean, is butter a very Canadian thing that I just have never picked up on, or I don't know why. But
I mean, we don't eat much of it. We only really use it for art purposes.
Well, I mean, look, I'm sure there are iconic photos of your leaders across history doing iconic things, or is really your prime minister's been so boring over history that now we have an iconic photo that it's of them cuddling pandas? I mean, this is just what do you do with this after it's melted?
You make a lot of toast, pancakes. I don't know. Maybe you feed it to the pandas in a trough or something. I can't really think of what.
Does Justin Trudeau visit this and go like, "Oh, look at me, eh? I'm in butter."
That's so sweet. Not really on the topic of Justin Trudeau, but did you ever see the movie Butter that had Jennifer Garner and Hugh Jackman in it?
I didn't realize there's a movie called Butter.
Yeah, no, there is.
Is it about the history of butter?
It's about the, I guess, the cutthroat world of butter sculpting. Butter sculpting competitions.
I've never heard about this. It's got Alicia Silverstone in it.
Yeah, it was actually not a bad movie, but it opened my eyes to how competitive this is. So, I don't know. I feel like this could have won if this was in the butter sculpting competition of Toronto 2017.
It's a satire of the 2008 Democratic presidential primary. What the hell? How did I not know about this film?
We need to cover it on the Oz Network, available by iTunes.
I really would like to track down these artists and be like, so, as artists, what brought you to create a sculpture out of butter and that of the Prime Minister cuddling of pandas? Like, can they do one of, like, Donald Trump trying to defend Nazis? Like, I mean, that's an iconic photo, isn't it?
I could totally see Donald Trump staring at the eclipse without glasses as a butter sculpture.
And I think the thing is, there are people in, like, third world countries who would kill for butter to just get some substance, and here's some artist wasting perfectly good butter on a prime ministerial sculpture. There's a park in Australia where there's an artist who will do a bust of like each of the prime ministers, and it's like a lake, and you can go around and see all the prime ministers of Australia around a lake celebrating their legacy of the country. I mean, there's a lot more of them now because we've had about 17 in the last 3 days. But like, I mean, is this what they do in Canada? Like, we're so proud of our prime ministers, let's create them in butter, and one in Nutella, one in peanut butter, and it's just basically an excuse because when you like to eat your food, you like to eat it off your prime ministers.
It's funny because when you mentioned about iconic pictures, I struggle to think of any iconic pictures of most of our prime ministers. I struggle to remember what our last prime minister looked like, to be honest.
Let's finish this off by Googling iconic picture of a Canadian prime minister, and if I press enter, the first result that brings me back, it's Canada iconic photos, 112 best Canadian prime ministers images on Pinterest.
Oh, look, it's pandas and Trudeau made out of butter. That's so sweet.
If I click on images, literally every photo, with the exception of like 2, are of Justin Trudeau. The first one here is a picture of some old guy, Sir Wilfrid Laurier. Sorry if he's like one of your greatest prime ministers, but I don't know who he is. There's a picture of Justin Trudeau looking like Keanu Reeves with long hair, looking like a stoner. And then there's a photo of Justin Trudeau holding his hand on his chest with the Canadian maple leaf in the background. I think that's probably the scene when he forgot about Alberta. So, and of course you have an iconic photo of Justin Trudeau staring at Donald Trump's open hand. Clearly, the iconic prime ministers of Canada all bordered down to Justin Trudeau. Oh, and there's a picture of a very happy Justin Trudeau getting sprayed with water and a rainbow flag in the background. So
there is one thing I will say, though. When you said iconic pictures, and this is something that the butter sculptors of Toronto, whatever you are, need to do is the only picture I can remember was Jean Chrétien, who was our prime minister probably for almost a decade, the late 90s to maybe about 2006, I think is when he finished. So 1997, 2006. He had a tendency to, I guess, get pushy with people who got in his face. And there was this one time that somebody in a crowd was kind of being a little bit too aggressive. So even as prime minister, he basically grabs the guy and chokes him. Oh. If you look up the picture, Jean Chrétien, Jean Chretien.
So yeah.
Yeah, Jean Chrétien choking, you will see, and he has parodied this picture on multiple occasions, but there are several pictures of the guy that he basically grabbed and choked in the middle of a crowd while he was the sitting prime minister.
Wow, that's so un-Canadian. That's a Donald Trump move.
Very, very un-Canadian man, very popular man just because of that. That's kind of the way the Canadians are. Once you do something that's un-Canadian, we love you for it. Trudeau needs to choke those pandas in order to really get popular here.
Trudeau pushed someone out of the way in Parliament, and I saw that on John Oliver, that basically there was a big thing in Canada because he walked past a woman in Parliament and kind of pushed her, and then it was a big controversy that he pushed someone in Parliament and then basically spent the next 10 minutes apologising for it. So Canadian.
Yeah, I mean, it was probably being a little bit too pushy or aggressive, but it was also a little bit blown out of proportion. Again, another story that Canadians really had no interest in.
Clearly, that and butter sculpting. Before we let you go, I mean, I don't know if you've got anything to add. We didn't plan this, but I mean, there might be something else in Canada that's happened this week that you want us to know, or is that it?
There's nothing that's happened. There's a butter shortage that made the news recently. We're all very hungry here.
The national crisis of butter shortage. Colin, thank you for joining us, and we look forward to next week seeing the Wayne Gretzky sculpture made out of poop. Now, if you're a fan of my work, and for both of you out there, Catherine and the Shedmeister, we appreciate your support of those. But you would have heard recently the Oz Network has been covering movies that I made. We're filling in a few gaps before we do some coverage of some other films. And we did a interesting little recap of Kill Phil about a week ago, last week, and this week we're about to release Kill Phil 2. Colin and I recorded this yesterday, and we're releasing it this Thursday, so you're going to get a bit of a snippet of this before anybody else. This is basically Colin and I talking up a scene in the movie where, this is Kill Phil 2, where I basically lip-sync to the song all by myself as kind of a parody of Bridget Jones. Now, you would have heard Josh on this show a few weeks ago talking about our experiences filming Kill Phil 2, and we thought this was worth sharing, just the reactions from Colin and myself as we try and decode my filmmaking techniques. But we're going to get to this scene because you want to get to this scene. We all want to get to this scene.
Yeah.
I cannot remember for the life of me why we did this.
I know why.
Because the scene is essentially...
It's a Ben Waterworth vanity project.
It's more a Bridget Jones ripoff, all right? So the next scene is simply me in my office drinking what looks like a bottle of water. Again, it's vodka. Lip syncing to All By Myself.
For all 5 minutes of the song.
And basically, if you didn't get what is meant to happen at the end, I get so distraught that I inject myself with heroin.
Is that what happened?
We had a fake doctor's kit, which you barely see the stethoscope at any point, and there was a fake needle in it, and I really wanted to use it. So yeah, there's meant to basically be overzealous drug use in this movie, where I get so depressed I have to inject myself with heroin. Now we actually also were planning, because we did film Josh also lip syncing to All By Myself. There's a slight bit in one of the blooper reels that you'll see of him in it, but I just didn't use it because it didn't have any purpose in the movie. Neither did this scene. But, so yeah, and now it's funny that you say all 5 minutes of it. Pretty much, my video production teacher said that this film was so bad and decided to use this scene as the exception as to, why did you even have that? Why did you have to have yourself in this lip syncing All By Yourself? It made no sense to the movie. The movie was doing okay up to that point, and it completely took away from the entire film.
It was doing okay up until now? This is okay?
Apparently.
This is why people can't graduate in Hobart.
But call it the Ben Waterworth vanity project if you like. I at least had fun acting that scene.
Yeah, it shows.
Anyway, say what you want about it, Colin.
Oh my, your feelings are going to be so hurt.
They already are.
So, this is another moment that Ben didn't know the camera was rolling. This also happens to be how Ben spends his Saturday nights when Nick and I aren't available to record.
How did you know? How did you know?
I actually do think your performance in it is kind of funny. If it was like maybe a minute and a half, I'm with your teacher. 5 minutes in, I'm actually just let it be done. I was verbally saying, Jamie's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, this scene, it's never ending.
What did Jamie think of it?
She was just looking at like everything else in the movie. She's like, what am I watching?
Another actual quote from the DVD cover.
I mean, I was laughing during this, but it was kind of more of like a sad laughter. Like, I'm so sad he spent this much time wasting his education.
Clearly, education's worked out for me so well. I'm podcasting about this film 12 years later.
Podcasting about his own vanity projects. That's a double vanity project you're listening to this week on the Oz Network.
And wait till we do the recap of Kill Bill 2. Remember that part of the recap where Colin was laughing about me?
If there was any hope for this to get rented, it is gone after All by Myself.
Come on, just I'm watching it right now. The dramatic stabbing of my arm as I rip the sleeve up. The dramatic fall down to the ground as I throw away the needle. I fall on my back. My glasses apparently have disappeared, and I'm just on the floor screaming in agony. I'm so by myself, Colin.
I know, that's
great acting.
You see, that's what made it so sad. Is it was so believable. You know, you've been there.
You mean have? I'm still there.
This is after the lengthy audition process for the role of Matilda. Why can't I get a girl to kiss me? In all seriousness, it's probably your best acted scene of the movie.
Because I'm not acting.
It is funny in an unintentional way, I guess. Probably the hardest I laughed in the movie.
My stomach is so sore.
I had dental surgery 48 hours ago. My stitches have come out, I think.
How are you going to explain that to the dentist? How did you do this, Colin? Oh, I just watched a guy singing all by myself. Do you want to see it? Do you want to see how much of a loser he is, dentist?
Just wait until he fakes shooting up heroin, and you'll get the joke.
The funniest bit is the heroin scene. I've got this depressed guy drinking a bottle of vodka and shooting himself with heroin. It's comedy gold.
In all honesty, forget about my stitches. The last time I sweat this much, I was running a half marathon. This is the greatest scene in the history of film.
I tweeted that out. You saw me tweet
People, we know based on the YouTube numbers versus the download numbers, we know a lot of people are not watching the movie. You need to watch the part.
Yeah, I think Kill Bill 1's had over 300 downloads, yet the movie on YouTube's had like 17 views. That's like Catherine the Shed Meister. Actually, because I can look at the watch time. It gives you statistics on YouTube, like how long people watch it for. And okay, here's an example. Noah, who is coming back soon. Yay, save us, Noah. He said that he listened to the episode, which is, cool. But then he didn't tell me if he watched the movie or not. Now, he was in Malaysia during the week, and I've looked at the analytics of the watch time, and it's got there, someone in Malaysia has watched this movie for 9 minutes. That was the first one, not the second one yet. So I'm going to be interested to see what the watch time is of that. But Noah literally gave up watching Kill Bill 1 after 9 minutes. That's about 5 minutes longer than most people, but still. Oh, we have reached a point here on the Oz Network. We are literally covering my so-called vanity project. We have spent a good 5 minutes just cracking up laughing over something that happens to me every night in real life. I can't wait till we cover a movie where there's a person like getting so distraught over their baby crying every like 10 seconds they throw it against the wall. Oh my lord.
What happens after this? It's all a blur.
Is there anything after this? Isn't that the end of the movie?
Nothing that lives up to this.
That's it, we're done. Bin it. Can I just point out, my stomach legitimately was so sore after recording that segment. I don't think I laughed ever as hard as I had during a podcast segment as that. It was very funny. And if you think that sounds funny and you wish to hear that, tune into the Oz Network this Thursday. You can search us on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, Facebook. We're just plugging ourselves. But you can download that this week, the full recap. It's actually a really fun episode. Well, it's time to close it all out for our 40th episode and also our final episode for August. We move into September next, and that was, of course, the month last year that we started this this rebooted podcast again. So we're approaching the year anniversary of bringing this back to your speakers. But just a couple of side notes before we close it out. We're going to hear our 2012 in the mix, as we didn't play that for you last week, so we'll get to that in just a moment. But obviously you've been following the Brink Unleashed 7, has been doing great guns on YouTube. We thank everybody who has tuned in and watched it. Obviously, we had the deleted scenes released last week. Today, we have released a little montage kind of celebrating the 10th anniversary of the Brink Unleashed series. Just a short little clip to the My Chemical Romance song, Welcome to the Black Parade, which, of course, if long-term viewers of the Brink and listeners would remember, we did a little montage of that back, I think, 2008, to Josh and myself doing silly things, because why wouldn't we? So you can find that on our YouTube page and also on our Facebook page, and remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel while you are on there as well. In the meantime, we will be back next week for episode 41 of the Brink Podcast. More great stuff coming your way. Remember to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. You can subscribe to us on iTunes and also on Stitcher if you do not use an Apple product. If you miss these episodes to you, they're also available on YouTube. We do upload the audio for these on YouTube as well. And we appreciate all your support and hope that you enjoy the show as much as we enjoy bringing it to you. But we're going to close it out right now with our 2012 in the mix, hearing some highlights from the year that was 2012. Until next week, Hobart, keep sucking those oranges and good night.
What's the text message, Sam? I'm intrigued.
It's from Brian from Baghdad.
I love Baghdad. It's a lot better since they cleared out some of the troops.
Yeah.
Oh, wrong place. Sorry.
Wrong Baghdad.
Wrong Baghdad.
Brian lives at...
Okay, so you've done 10 boob jobs, alright. 10? 10? I'd stop at 2, maybe. 3.
Fail times 10.
I'm going to say no fail for the picture. Right.
Fail because it's damaged goods.
Ben, I have looked through my legislation, and yes, I do have the power to arrest Mr. O'Byrne under the You Chicken Act of 1984.
Oh, right. I'm not familiar with one of these ones. Now, is this based in any particular moment, or it's just a chicken act?
Just a chicken act, Ben.
Yeah, they are dangerous. I've often thought that if the zombie apocalypse came, I'd weld two Arias together into like an awesome zombie killing weapon. It'd be sweet.
I'm not sure that I've got enough working years in front of me to do that.
Oh, now come on, how old were some of these people? I mean, wasn't Ronald Reagan in his 80s when he became president? Geez, he got
80s, was he?
I don't know, 70s or 80s or something like that. So you got plenty of time there, Mark.
And you can definitely make a song about visiting Mona of the day. You can add a few references in your songs.
Mona.
He is, and big Jason Laycock. That was a beautiful kick from the left forward flank. Straight out into centre half forward, and the centre half forward there kicking it on to whatever the player is who's got the ball now. I've forgotten his name, Ben.
27.
27, the big 27, a special birthday to celebrate. So send him in and maybe send him some cake if there's any female listeners coming in as well, because we want to trick the females in, not only for ourselves but Dean as well. Dean loves the ladies just like we all do. Is that correct, Dean? Come on now.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Dan, I demanded it. I demanded it happen.
Well, I have...
It's been too long.
Yes, this cat really is a helicopter, and yes, it's really dead. And these are the facts.
So then what, stuffed a cat and shoved a propeller in its head?
Yes, that's right, Ben.
Well, we would have, we wouldn't have to worry about the whole hour I have to spend every morning in hemp makeup.
Yeah, I just rock up in my jammies. What can I say? I mean, I've got that luxury.
Nice. That'd be an hour I could spend in bed.
You know what amazes me is that after 24 seasons, the doggone participants still don't know how to play the damn game. That's what drives me crazy.
Oh, he threw that word down. What a gold medal for Australia!
And what are they going to wear when they do the poetry? Do they
Shakespeare attire.
And as for the Shire, I can't believe some of the stuff they put on TV these days. So I watched about 5 minutes of it, gave myself a good whack in the face, and then just changed the channel.
It'd be good if I had some microphone there.
That would be, wouldn't it? Yes.
Tell him he had this journalism degree. Anyway,
Because I'm going to get in trouble no matter what I say. Answer that question. I'm get in trouble. So look.
I don't know what
chicken
they
sausage,
pork sausage, beef. Throwing a kangaroo sausage on there on Australia Day.
She was just like, I'm never going to win it anyway. And she'd just jump off the pole or step off the thing or whatever. You know, that kind of makes me a little upset.
Yes, Ben, a number of players out there actually having a cigarette at the moment. And, Ben, look, I've just noticed that neither team this evening has chosen to go on with any bearded players. Interesting decision.
Well, you've got your Edge Radio shirt. I've got my big volleyball winner. He's got his...
Well, sounds good to go to work and actually earn money.
Got a classy plain blue polo shirt.
They've all taken my idea, but I would have been instigated. I would have kicked 15, 20 every week, and I would have got the credit of the 20,000. So, Kamadi Footy Club, shame on you, President. Shame on you.
Is that spelled TEANOSUKLGASUYA?
You do know your spelling,
I do, I just had to double check there on my baby names book.
It's just a normal tasty cheese, but it has to be grilled. It can't taste like cheese.
Yeah, it's going to be melted on a piece of bread?
Yeah, not raw.
What to you, the biggest what if moment and the best challenge?
Spider challenge.
Hello, Troy. Spider challenge, we'll take that.
It was the one where it was the final, I believe it was the final 8 challenge.
Yes, I love that one too. It was the best.
I have to say that I believe that he might have Chuck Norris type qualities, Reen Westbury. So when he gets a bit older, my goodness, he'll be unstoppable.
I'll find out for you and I'll get it to you. But I know that was in the media a little bit here actually.
No, you won't.
I will now that you say that.
Kind of throwing it out there. No, it's cool though. I got you.
Well, we reckon you guys can go on and win the Australian Open. We'll give you that much of a confidence boost that you'll go out there and you'll win the Grand Slam.
Not as bad. Probably a bit of character lessons from there as well.
You just see that. You just chuck in the tie. Me go back on the Tuesday. Me love a chocolate cake with nothing icing.
That's exactly what I was expecting you to say.
I love that. Authenticity. I think it's really important for people to talk about when things don't quite go right.
And yeah, Hobart, stop pulling my pants down. And we're going back to the ID.
Oh, we're going to relive that one next week. But until next week, Hobart, please do keep sucking those oranges. Keep sucking those oranges.
Keep sucking those oranges.
Keep sucking those oranges.
Keep sucking those oranges, Hobart.
Do keep sucking those oranges. Keep sucking those oranges. Keep sucking those Olympic oranges. Keep sucking those oranges, Hobart. Keep sucking those oranges. Keep sucking those oranges. And
good night.